Hey guys, what's good? It's your boy Mangaro, and hey, guess what? I'm back with these weird videos. Who would have thought, right? Anyway, I'm here today to talk about a bit of a topic that's been addressed by a lot of people already. Woohoo. It's not necessarily anything new, but I wanted to sort of conduct a bit of an analysis based on a few YouTube trends I've seen lately. After a bit of research, I understand the connections, and suffice to say it, how you can get big on YouTube is as easy as manipulating a few basic factors. However, keep in mind, this isn't as easy as, oh, I'll make one video and everything will just be hunky-dory, because no. There's a lot of luck and hard work involved, too. Yes, I get it, chill your old gay butts. Believe it or not, these things aren't guaranteed, but they can most definitely help you. Anyway, with that said, no more stalling, let's get right into the goods.
These people are massively invading this world of the internet. Why?
So the algorithm is the centerpiece to all of this. It's basically a code that YouTube has set up that automates what videos certain people will see and what videos are kind of just left in the dust. It's kind of a really big deal with these sorts of videos, and for a good reason too. It more or less helps determine whether or not people will be able to see and respond to your videos to begin with. So it's good to understand how it works so you can get it to give your videos the cutting edge. A bit of a disclaimer before I get into the functions of the algorithm. This is where the luck part comes in, because since it's a bot, there's a chance that you might get skimmed over by the algorithm. However, if you want your video to be promoted by the algorithm, then it's all down to whether or not people will want to come and see your content to begin with. In other words, you can try to manipulate your chances a bit in your favor, and that's what we're going to get into. So the algorithm has had a lot of alterations made to it over the years. At first, back when YouTube was smaller and more immature, the algorithm promoted videos solely on the view count, or the amount of clicks the video had. As people began to realize this, manipulating the algorithm became extremely obvious in the form of clickbait. It's how certain channels such as Smosh back in the day became so successful. Their skits were chock full of titles that made you go,
"This is so epic."
Whether that was intentional on their part or not doesn't really matter much. My point is, clickbait was basically the meta back then. However, in 2012, that all changed. Instead of views being the sole determiner, it was all up to the average watch time, how engaged viewers were to the video. The algorithm took this information and promoted respective videos based on how long someone watched a video for. This gave reign to gaming YouTubers that had naturally long videos that people would naturally be engaged to. And huge gaming channels like Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye spiked and became the powerful entities that they are today. However, you probably already knew all that. Maybe you tried clickbait and maybe you tried gaming videos, but you can't really get anywhere as a result of them. You're probably wondering where I'm going to go with this, but hang on, I'm almost there. The reason you probably didn't get much out of it was because people already realized this and their respective genres became incredibly oversaturated. Markiplier and Jacksepticeye got incredibly lucky because they were promoted by the algorithm, which, might I remind you, is somewhat random and based on loose coding, and the chances of you getting to their part by doing what they did is unfortunately marginally low. That became a bit of a problem, and YouTube's algorithm was updated many times in ways that are kind of hard to pinpoint, but I think I understand how it works a bit more now. I think it's a bit of a combination of both. Think about it, the more people that watch your video, the more people are going to contribute to that average amount of watch time. You have to have a video that's both long, engaging, but will also drag people in. I'm not saying to clickbait into a gaming video, because once someone realizes what they're seeing isn't the deal that they came for, they're going to leave the video immediately. That seems like a hopeless situation, but what you need to do is be controversial and break the mold. Find a topic or genre that people want to see and hear about, and be elaborate about it. In other words, use clickbait in an honest way. Strange idea, I know, but that's legitimately how you have to go about it to get that middle ground. This is very effective for drawing in a crowd from little to nothing. With this, I don't mean to say to hop onto bandwagons, because that is effectively what I mean by oversaturation. I mean controversial as in what you're doing is something unique and will pique interest of potential viewers, but most importantly, you're also being genuine and elaborate. Let me give you a bit of an example. My friend Shellcat has a video on her channel that addresses the idea of adoptables. Most people in the community she's speaking to are huge fans and advocates of them, so the fact she made a video that completely rejected something that many people liked would spark a bit of an aggressive click, which could be under the clickbait idea I was mentioning earlier. However, here's the thing, the video actually delivered. Shellcat explained why she didn't like adoptables and made it relatively concise in about 8 minutes, which, given this change in the algorithm, is actually a pretty solid amount of watch time. Since people will want to be there to face the reasons, you can expect viewers to engage in the topic in its entirety and watch at least a solid majority of the video. Not everyone that sees the video might do that, but from what I can see in the comments, it seems her points were actually addressed, which would essentially mean that those rebutting her would have had to watch the video. Since it had a spike in popularity, it is likely that the algorithm finally spotted the solid amount of views it already had before as a smaller channel, and has recommended to people who are part of the adoptable community. Like I said, part of it is luck. At this point, you're probably wondering, wait, how would you even get that initial little offset of views? And the answer to that, my good viewer, lies in the tags. If you're not aware already, what tags do is mark your video into a certain sort of topic category that allows it to be filtered into YouTube search results or into recommendations based on the viewer's video history. These are incredibly important because it makes the algorithm interpret your video as a part of a certain general topic. So, the trick here is to be extremely general, but keep your tags still related, so that way when someone looks up a certain topic, that they have a higher chance of finding and effectively clicking on your video. You absolutely need to avoid using only specifics. However, I'm not saying to avoid them completely since the amount of tags you can use are unlimited, but you can't use just them. Tags are going to be your best friend to pique people's attention and to continue to grow the publicity of your video afterward. So let's review this entire topic if you're short on time or if you just want to make my information seem less rambly. 1. Do what people want, but don't hop onto bandwagons. 2. Make your video titles interesting, but don't make them misleading. 3. Make sure your video itself is elaborate. And 4. Use general and specific tags interchangeably to begin the uprising of your video in the algorithm. Once you do something like this, let's say the algorithm gives you the good end of the stick and your video gains a good amount of attention. What will happen is an exponential view count, because people are increasingly adding onto your view count and effectively bolstering the average amount of watch time you have in your video, causing the algorithm to promote it more and more. Now your video is successful, and you're getting a bit of an audience. But what's next, you may be asking? Will you call it quits and rest on the Scrooge pile that is your subscriber count? Well, what's up next is taking advantage of your momentum while you still have it, because, spoiler alert, it's not gonna last forever.
A series of tools. The internet is providers. The internet.
There's a bit of a consistency in trends that once an exponential view count has reached a sort of peak that it begins to fall off. The reason for this nowadays, I theorize, has to do with another component of the algorithm I call trend tabbing, where the algorithm calculates what videos are gaining an exponential view count and should be promoted by it. The trending tab that's already on YouTube seems to somewhat verify this, but I feel the extent of it is a bit ulterior. So in other words, once a video begins to slow down a bit, its trend tabbing is decreased and the algorithm will promote it less and less, which will lead to a fallout from promotion and extensively your growth and momentum. So you absolutely have to capitalize on the momentum your video gains as a result of the algorithm's trend tabbing. When your video begins to gain traction, you need to actively post content and keep the attention of newcoming viewers by redirecting them to your new videos with end cards. Why end cards? Well, let's be honest. When someone is watching videos and absorbing themselves into them, chances are they aren't going to be having a good attention span. Having end cards is super good because they will show your newer videos to viewers without them having to deviate outside of that small attention span. This will in a way colonize an incoming audience and will actually get them to see your newer content and get them trending too, which will be an absolutely vital factor to the growth of your channel. However, while this may be effective in minimizing the damage smaller trend tabs will eventually have on your channel, one thing to keep in mind is that there's a bit of a reverse parabolic effect to end cards in terms of view counts. What I mean by that is that your trending video will have the most amount of views, that video's end card videos will have less amount of views, but more as a result of the end cards, and end cards of those videos will have less and so forth. I say parabolic because from what I understand you are allotted 2 end cards per video. Keep this in mind so that way you condition what videos you want your viewers to see in what order. That might seem unimportant, but you always want your viewers to see what you're capable of at your best. I'm unsure if you can actually control people will see in the end cards, but if you can change them, then seriously do keep that in mind. It'll be really helpful. So to summarize this section, 1. Act immediately when your video trends while you have people's attention. 2. Use end cards to get viewers to see your other content. 3. Most importantly, be active and don't die like I did, because seriously, that will bite you in the butt. Anyway, that's my lame video. I hope you liked it. I put quite a bit of research into this, as well as made some weird theories and ideas, but in a way I hope that at least gives you a bit of an idea on how you can get somewhere on YouTube with the way weirdo videos that you guys have. Anyway, this part is a little bit unscripted. I just wanted to let you guys know I'm probably gonna make more stuff, like I just said in my channel trailer and whatnot. But seriously though, I hope this helped. Anyway, I'll stop rambling, because, oh no, this might be a test in of itself. Okay, but memes aside though, thanks for watching, I'll see y'all later. Ciao.